what's going on guys, Phil here. It's been a little bit while since we've done a video, but I decided that I want to kind of try and get back on, the grind of getting content out. So, today, it is March 12th, which means we are in about the second week of the Hearthstone Masters qualifier tournaments. Um, that's a pretty big event that's happening right now, and I plan on making a video all about like the recent news that's come out about Hearthstone. So not only is there the new format and the specialist tournament and all the qualifiers going, there's also going to be the new expansion. It's being teased right now. The Year of the Dragon has all of its like changes and new features have been announced. So I plan on making videos about those as well. But for today, I just wanted to start out plain and simple, playing some ladder. I have had a very poor month of laddering. I started at 4 after, decaying from Legend, and then we made it up to, I think, 2 or 3, like, pretty far. I think we made it to, like, 3 and 1 star, or 3 and all stars, but, I'm now down to 5, so, that happens. But I find ladder to be extremely boring right now, so instead of playing a deck that is, like, very competitive and trying to get our rank up, I've decided that we're going to play a fun deck. So I made Gonk Druid about, I don't know, 2-3 weeks ago, just as mostly as a joke, but it turns out that Gonk Druid is actually a surprisingly competent deck. Um, it's actually fairly consistent, and this is the list that I've been running. Um, Questionable cards that you could consider changing. This one biology project is definitely a flex slot. Um, I'm not positive what to put in for it. Potentially something like a Nourish or an Innervate. And actually, now that I'm thinking about it, because I didn't look at the list before we started the video because I've just been jamming it, but most of the time this bio project should probably just be an Innervate. It kind of fulfills the same role, um, and it doesn't give your opponent the extra mana, so we're gonna, we'll throw that in and test that out right now. But aside from that, the list is pretty filled up. This Elise is a flex slot. I put it in there just because it's a fairly decent 5 attack minion to help complete quest. If you look at minions with attack 5 or more, you want to almost always guarantee that your Cursed Disciple gets pulled from Oaken Summons, and you only run one extra thing in there that like meets that requirement. Because sometimes getting the rush out is really important, as well as you don't want to break your Oaken Summons if you draw a Cursed Disciple early on, because you would keep both of these in your opening hand. So it's good to have a little extra security policy. But aside from that, if you look at minions with 5 or more attack that do not cost less than 4, there's really not that much going for you. You could attempt running Fate Spinner. That's been done in the past, but I think it's too weak. Probably a little bit too slow. Definitely could test that out. Aside from that, like, there's a Hoarding Dragon, but that gets pulled from Oaken Summons, so we have to go into 5 mana. Bitter Tide doesn't fit your archetype at all. Cobalt really doesn't fit your archetype at all. None of these are really like that spectacular, so you could consider running something like Hemet, because once you complete the, I mean, it has really bad anti-synergy with if you've already completed your quest, actually, so that's probably horrible. But yeah, there's really not that much to run. I ran Mojo Master for a while, just for the control matchups and because it was a 5/5, but I've learned that you're already pretty heavily favored versus most control matchups, so you don't really need that. But the point of this deck is you complete your quest, make all your minions cost 0, then you go Ixlid into Gonk, into Faceless on your Gonk, you get 4 Gonks, then you Leroy, your Leroy will spawn 2 1/1 Whelps, you then use your hero power, whether that be normal or upgraded by Malfurion, along with Pounces to up your attack. You kill the 1/1 Whelps, get extra attacks with your hero because of your 4 Gonks, and then you jam Face, and then if that's somehow not enough damage, you get a double Leroy from going off with the combo as well. So once we hop in game, the Hearthstone overlay will pop up, and we will see the stats for how we've been doing over the past like 2 or 3 weeks. All these games have been done between mainly 3 in Legend, and then also some testing in Legend, but currently we're rank 5, so, but it's a fairly, we're fairly high up there in the ladder tier. So we are 31 and 25 with a 55% win rate. This is also a deck which we have brought to the Tespa Collegiate Series every week. We just completed week 3 of that, so every single week we've brought Gonk, and it's never lost us a series. So it's not just a meme deck for ladder; it's also semi-competitive in a tournament setting. And it, I'm not positive. I haven't done too much testing, but I'm fairly certain there's a way that you could fit this into a specialist lineup, because you can either run just combo druid and then have this be one of your archetypes if you really wanted it to be, or you could always try and work Gonk into a specialist, being Gonk being your primary win condition and then just changing up some tech cards. That seems a little bit odd, but I think it could happen. So we're just going to be basically passing these first couple turns really quick while we have a second. I'm going to make the window for this smaller because our deck is very large for the resolution that we're playing at. So that's a lot better. But yeah, so we're against Odd Warrior. It's essentially the slowest deck in the entire game. It doesn't have quests, so it has no way to pressure us out of the game for the most part. So this should be a fairly easy matchup. Our hand is pretty bad, but we have a 5-drop. We have a 5-drop that can destroy a weapon and draw us more cards, which is cool. Another questionable slot that you might be wondering if you're looking at the list is the inclusion of 1 Dream Petal Florist. I've put in 1 Dream Petal mainly because if you draw multiple combo pieces before you've cast your Barnabas, that can kind of mess you up. So typically you want your Dream Petal to, like right now we have this Faceless in hand. If we can Dream Petal that Faceless down to 0 and then everything else costs 0, that just evens out our combo turn a lot more. So it's kind of just an insurance policy, but it works out fairly well most of the time. And it does 7 cost reduction, which is exactly enough to make Gonk 0, so that's fairly useful. It comes up a decent amount. So in this game, it's going to end up, playing a factor because we have multiple combo pieces in hand before they cost 0, which means we're going to have to, Dream Petal on one of them. So next turn, we're going to probably either gain mana or draw cards. In this matchup, we just want a heavy draw and basically just try and dodge our combo pieces. We found the Dream Petal, which is cool, because now we know that, at the very least we can guarantee it on one of these two. That's another issue too. You have to time it fairly well, because if you Barnabas, make all your minions cost 0, then you start drawing more, and then you haven't found the Florist yet, but you still need the Florist to hit something. The Florist can hit something that already costs 0, so this deck has a lot of weird little timings that you have to get used to, but it's fairly straightforward. It actually is surprisingly consistent. Ooh, him wasting a Shield Slam here is pretty big. That 5/4 really wasn't doing much for us. Luckily, he's lost. No one. 1, we're playing Quest Druid. 2, no one plays Gonk. 3, no one plays Gonk Quest Druid. So he's gonna probably make some questionable plays this match because he just doesn't know what's going on, which works out in our favor. So we're at 9 cards. We could Nourish for mana. What would Nourishing for mana do for us, though? We could also just Ferocious and draw a card. I think I like just going... So, Nourish for mana is better in the instance where we draw more Ferocious Howls, Branching Paths, or Ultimates. Nourishing for cards is better if we start drawing some of our Cursed Disciples, Oaken Summons, stuff like that. I think just because this fits the curve so well, we're going to do it. Most games I don't actually Nourish for crystals. Nourish is kind of a really awkward card for this deck. That's why we only run 1. But in some situations, especially post-quest, where you're drawing 3 cards and they could all potentially be combo pieces that cost 0, it's really good to get 3-card draw. We found our pack. Not quite what we're looking for. think we're just gonna draw another card here. Curse Disciple is exactly the kind of card we're looking for. So, like I said before, the Elise is just in here as a 5/5, basically. In that respect, we probably could run something like a Cobalt Scalebane over it just for the marginal benefit that it provides. But some games the pack will come in handy. There's a lot of games where you kind of empty your hand really quickly. We had a very clunky hand this match, so that didn't happen. And then Angoro Pack also kind of messes with your Dream Petal Florist timing, because if you open up minions, you obviously don't want to hit those random minions with your Dream Petal. But I'm not quite sure what to replace Elise with. And, you know, your pack can sometimes give you AoEs you shouldn't have access to, or extra healing or draw and stuff like that. So basically any non-minion card you get from it is really powerful, and you just kind of risk that your timing is going to work out to where you don't have to mess with it too much. So the problem is we can Dream Petal, but it could hit this Harrison, and that would essentially lose us the game. It makes our game a lot tougher if that happens. So I think we're just going to be on the, draw a ton and hope to complete the quest plan. Branching. We're at 9 cards. Okay, so we go down to 8, we go back up to 9. If we found a Naturalize, that's pretty cool. We'll draw one more. Fuck. We've hit, every combo piece. I'm just going to Naturalize this, and then kill this. So, this game is becoming very, very difficult, because we have drawn all of our quest pieces, we have not completed our quest. Yeah. Not really a perfect scenario for us. Definitely isn't really backing up my claim that the deck's fairly consistent, because our Dream Petal is going to have to do massive work. Our Dream Petal is basically going to... It has to hit either Ixalit or Faceless, or we just kind of lose. He's trying to put on a lot of pressure, which is good for us, though, because we get to Plague now. The least important hit for it is Leroy in this matchup. Yeah, so we're just going to go with Plague this turn. If I really wanted to, I could pack for 2 cards, but then that risks us overdrawing as well. So, we're just going to pass this turn with a Plague and make him, find an answer to it. Either it slows him down quite a bit because he only has 1 clean trade, or he, wastes AoE or removal on it. And if he's wasting removal on these 1/5s, that's really good for us. Second Plague is really good. Ooh, that's a little annoying. It's actually not that big a deal. It's just makes his trades a little bit cleaner. Super Collider, okay. And he hits, that's good for us. So him wasting a charge means we draw one less card, which you would think would be bad, but since our hand is so clogged, Jesus, we drew every combo piece. I don't actually think there's a way to win from this position, now that we've drawn every combo piece, without getting our quest off. But we don't give up. We're going to go with the plan where we don't need Faceless this game. We're going to Faceless this. And then I can draw 2, and then I can waste a Pounce. Pounces are really important in this matchup is the problem. Does this complete our quest? No. I think most of our deck now does not matter. The only important card in our deck is, Malfurion Hero. So we're just hoping not to draw the Malfurion Hero, or overdraw the Malfurion Hero. Our game is in such a bad position right now that we have to go for these weird kind of risky plays, because it's our only out. Wait, why did my Spellstone just upgrade from hitting with Eternium Rover? Did I miss something? Oh my god, Eternium Rover gives us 2 armor, that's pretty funny. Okay, we could have potentially used that to our advantage. I think we were out of mana though. Yeah, we went 5-5, so it didn't actually matter. But that's a pretty funny interaction I didn't think of. So we need to avoid the Malfurion hero overdraw. If we mill Malfurion, we might just be completely out the game. Oh my god. That's big. Okay. Okay. Not Malfurion hero. That's annoying, but not a big deal. Not Malfurion. Okay, good. That card does not matter at all. So we're going to spreading. Get a ton of these. We're going to complete our quest this turn. Not that the quest really matters. We just have to remove these minions from our hand so that our Dream Petal has a guaranteed chance or a guaranteed hit on at least one of our combo pieces. This match is really difficult. It's not completely over. It's just like much harder than it should be because we completed our quest so late that we drew all of our combo pieces. That's one of the risks with the game plan we went with, where we drew so many cards early, but it's just something you kind of have to do sometimes. Like, if we would have just waited, we never drew into our quest completion cards, so we would have just been on this really slow plan of doing nothing every turn. At least now we're so deep in the deck that we now have a game plan, you know? If we hadn't drawn those cards early, we would just kind of be stuck in limbo, but at least now we know what we have to go for. Naturalize would be our best top deck, so we can kill that very easily. Malfurion hero is also fairly good. Pounce does not quite do it. Okay. So we're going to play Barnabas to get it out of our hand. Yeah. We can then trade 5. Oh wow, this is really hard actually. Because if we want to go... Oh, we can gain 1 armor to make this deal 6. Does that help us? Yes, it does. That gives us much better trades. Okay, so we do this. We deal 6 here. We deal 5 here. I want to pounce this, but I think we need pounce to give us enough damage for the combo late game. So we're just going to trade here, here. We could hit this for 1. We have 2 swipes in deck. This is most likely just going in here anyway, though, so it's kind of just taking 1 damage for no reason. Okay, that stole a 0 mana Steel Rager, which is pretty good for him because it helps clear my 8/8. This game is really, really tough. If our Dream Petal hits the 1 and 3 on Gonk, though, that makes our win condition like a lot more viable. So we're gonna really hope for this 1 and 3. We can't make the odds any better. Yeah, we can't make the odds any better. And then depending on what it hits, that'll change our game plan. But it has to... Yeah. So we want to draw Naturalize this turn. Swipe. Okay. Yep, so we play this out. We're going to take a ton of damage this turn, which is not fun. Hit Gonk? Okay. Okay. That makes this really, really difficult now. There is a world where he doesn't trade because... Oh my god, is he doing it? Oh, okay. So if we find the Naturalize, then we might be able to survive. We didn't find the Naturalize. Is there any way we live here? We have a swipe? Nah, we're pretty done. Our pack can give us something crazy, so I think we get rid of cards. I guess here. It really doesn't matter. Innervate, pack, and hope for some sort of AoE. No, okay. So, that was not a great game to showcase the deck. We're gonna run that back. Now, in a world where we hit Gonk, off that Dream Petal, we at least had a win condition, but we needed to draw Naturalize really badly, and also the Malfurion Hero. Basically, that game just kind of went to shit because all of our combo pieces were drawn before any of them could get 0 mana buffed. You really need to hit your Barnabas on at least like 1 or 2. Preferably you hit everything. That's kind of a dream scenario, but if you can hit it on like Gonk and like, I don't know, Faceless, that's really good for you. Because everything else, like, as long as your Gonk can cost 0, either by getting hit by Barnabas or by Dream Petal, that just makes your combo turn so much easier, because everything else is at least 5, so you can go 5, like 5 mana Ixalit, 0 mana Gonk, 5 mana Faceless, and still be able to go off. If you have what we had in the last game, where you had a 5 mana Ixalit, a 0 mana Leroy, and then a 7 mana Gonk, you can't Ixalit and Gonk on the same turn. Hand's not particularly good here. We're not against odd though, so we can expect a very slow game, most likely. This is probably either Big Spell Mage or the new Dragon Mage that's going around, and both of those are favorable matchups for us, simply because they're slow. Oh, it's Kibler Mage. Okay. So, we need to find an answer to a Giant, which we don't currently have. Our only answer to a Giant would be Naturalize. So that's kind of the issue with this deck, is it's really good when you're able to draw, like, what you need to, but in any game where you kind of get, like, a slow start, you're just kind of done for. That's kind of just the nature of playing a deck like Quest Druid, though. You kind of just have to accept that. Because I think this 8/8 is just going to kill us. Okay. At least he didn't rope us out to hit us for 8 damage. Yeah. So, honestly, at this point, like, our only play is to copy this and hope that he doesn't have, like, a Voodoo Doll. If he has Voodoo Doll, we're pretty screwed. Okay. Yep. Alright, so that's game. We're gonna put that behind us and just run it back. I'm really hoping that we get at least one match that goes like semi-decently, so that I can show like what the deck can do. Because these past 2 games have not really highlighted how good the deck can be. Because like I said, we brought it. The stats you can see on the screen were like 31 and 27, and 50% win rate for a weird deck like this at like the higher tiers of Ladder and Legend are pretty good. And it's also had surprisingly good tournament showcasings for us, so hopefully it pans out. You really want a hard mulligan for like Cursed Disciple, Oaken Summons, Ferocious Howl. Malfurion's pretty good, but I don't think we want to keep it. And then I was considering keeping the Naturalize just for the fact that we haven't had it in every game that we need it, but that's pretty stupid logic, so we'll just try this out. biggest issue with this deck is that you really are reliant on, like, your opening draw. Because you're looking really hard for Ferocious Howl, Branching Paths, Curse Disciple, and Oaken Summons. Otherwise, your game just gets slowed down by so much to a point where, like, it's almost impossible to cheese out an early win, which is something you can do with this deck as well. Like, there's games where I've won on basically like turn 6 because you get the quest out and completed so fast that there's almost nothing they can do. Because once your quest is completed, you can just hard draw through your deck without even thinking about it, because everything's going to cost 0. You don't have to worry about any of the things that we had to worry about in like the first game that we played, where you have to like time which minion gets hit and take a bunch of chances and stuff like that. Branching, that's not too bad. So Northshire means we're either against Wall Priest or the Dragon Control Priest. Wall Priest is fairly difficult for us. You kind of have to save and naturalize. You basically need like double naturalize in that matchup, because if they stick a big minion, you just lose. Because it's Wall Priest, and that's how it works. Okay. It also could be some sort of APM Priest. APM Priest has been kind of having a renaissance. So we're just going to innervate this out, because we had to go this into Branching Paths or swipe into another 5 attack minion, which is pretty big. That's fairly quick for us to get towards our quest completion. And if we're able to do that, we have some draw. We can draw into, you know, more cards that are good for us. What is it called? I'll probably end up playing this match and maybe one more, and then depending on how they go, I can go search the HS replay files for a really good like showcase of this deck, because it's really not going as planned, and that's okay. That happens. It's Hearthstone. It's RNG. It's, you know, it's just how playing a semi-meme deck's gonna go. I'm still having quite a bit of fun playing it though, and I do want to showcase that it's actually a like competitively viable and like decent ladder deck. So I might have to go through the replays, but that's not that big a deal. Okay, so we're at 2, 3, 4 for our quest, which is pretty good, because once we Barnabas, any draw cards we get are just like 100 times better. We've only drawn 1 combo piece. Oh, this is huge. So that, if he plays any minions so that we can kill that, that increases our clock on playing Barnabas by 1 turn, which is an extra draw that, you know, can not be a combo piece. So we still don't know what he is at all. He's only played 2 Northshires. I'm willing to bet that it's gonna be Wall, since he hasn't played anything like a Twilight Drake or Fire Tree Witch Doctor, which our hand is not super suited towards, but we're gonna be able to get the quest completed fairly quickly, which, you know, positives and negatives. Wow, okay. So we're going to play out the Harrison, and we're hoping for something like a Mass Hysteria, because that'll proc our quest, which means we can play it next turn. Mass Hysteria, Spear Lash kills our 5/1. Coin Psychic? Interesting, okay. So he's worried about the pressure, which is very odd. Hey, sure. I'll do this guy. Put the pack in our deck. It could become useful, especially because now that we can play Barnabas next turn, it's very unlikely that we hit a second combo piece, because we already have Ixalit in hand, which we kind of want to Dream Petal. But that means the pack, as long as the rest of our combo is 0, the Ixalit costing 5 isn't that big a deal. So the pack, if it gives us minions, just means we have extra resources and minions to play out, which he has to answer. so I don't have to worry about dream peddling certain things. 3-8. So I can use a pounce to kill that. Ooh, this has a 50-50. Oh, but we want to do this. So at this point, Oaken is now a almost completely dead card because everything costs 0, and we don't want to risk pulling out like a Faceless or a Leroy or a Gonk or something like that. 8, 16, 32. If he has Divine Him, Divine Spirit, Topsy-Turvy, or Inner Fire, then we lose. This is not my favorite play in the world, but I think we have to do it just because we have to remove his minions to make sure that we're not threatened for lethal. Because if we hit with the Elise, it goes down to 3. He Divine Hymns it back to 8, Divine Spirit to 16, then to 32, and we had exactly 32 health if we armored up. So, okay. Not the biggest deal. Ooh, our pack. So we have 6 cards, so we can afford to play this and just see what we get. Okay. This pack was pretty garbage. I want to just develop the Malfurion. Do I want Taunt or Poison? I think I want Poison. We'll trade our 8-8 and get 5 damage in. So since he's already used 1 Scream as well, we can try to put on pressure with just minions, because any pressure we put on means that it's easier for us to combo off, because we don't need to go like full Ixalit, Gonk, Faceless, Leroy stuff. There's been a lot of games where you can just win with like Ixalit, Faceless, and Leroy, or like Leroy, Faceless, stuff like that. That's his second Scream, and he hasn't played any Visions, so he doesn't have any additional Screams. So now we just have to worry about Mass Hysterias, which I'm not super worried about, in all honesty. So we can play this, because none of our minions that have 5 or more attack are a combo piece. And while we're at it, we're against Wall. I kind of want to just put pressure on him with dealing 3 a turn. Yeah. We'll just go the pressure route. I can play this 2-1 if I want, but it kind of dilutes our draws if he kills it. Because we really don't want to pull up a 4-3, and a 2-1 is not representing that much, so I'm just going to hold it. This is probably a card that we almost never play. Oh. Oh, man. Well, that's unfortunate. That doesn't do that much. Oh, that summons a Lich King, actually. That does do quite a bit. Oh, man, I hate Priest. Okay. Oh, okay, so we can we can Faceless it back if we need to. Wait, okay. If we do that, then we can go Bop, get 4 attacks. 1, 2, 3, 4, kill it. I think we have lethal. I'm really hoping I'm right here. If we had any pounces, this would be so much better. Oh no, because we don't actually play the Gonk. That's only 2 Gonks. Oh, we don't have lethal. Okay. Fuck. That's so unlucky. Cool. That doesn't matter at all. So we're most likely just dead here to Divine Spirit, Topsy, or Divine Spirit, Inner Fire. Because he stole our Gonk. he hasn't instantly done it, so that leads me to believe he doesn't have full combo. Because 11 goes to 22, goes to 44, and that kills us, because 44 plus 4. Okay, he's going Oak Heart. Yikes. Oh, he's gonna Zilliax hit it, okay. Alright, so we lost. We definitely lost. So I'm just gonna go. Could this help us at all? I mean, that's a 4-mana sink. Okay, we didn't lose, technically. But then I don't know how we win. So we could go Ixlid, Faceless the 2/14. Oh, and then we lose to Mass Dispel. Okay, we lose to Mass Dispel anyway. So we're just gonna do this. We're gonna get 2 of these. We're gonna hit here, hit here, hit here, hit here, hit here. Just play these, because we can. And then we're gonna... yeah, we're just out of attacks. Alright. We're gonna do one more. That game should have been super easy for us, but he hit the 1 in whatever to steal our Gonk. And that feels pretty bad. So we've just thrown away our rank completely with 4 losses, or 3 losses in a row. That feels pretty bad. That feels real bad. Okay. We're against another Druid, so we have to worry about being togwaggled and losing our deck. Luckily, we can get a pretty high amount of armor to survive Malygos combos. So if it's Malygos, that's probably a favored matchup for us. I'm real sad. We're just tanking our stats, dude. We were at a 55% win rate. By the end of the video, we're going to be at 50%. Okay, branching is good. Branching gives us draw. Because we can also, depending on how his, like, how fast he's going with his combo, we could try and go faster than him, or we can try to outlast with armor. Ferocious Howl off the top. Combo piece. Coin. Twig, okay. We have a Harrison in the deck, so that Harrison can be really big. Another branching, so we're gonna draw, because we're 1, looking for the Harrison, and 2, just looking for combo pieces. Getting that Nourish is pretty cool. Getting an Oaken is okay as well. Our Oaken guarantees a Curse Disciple since we drew the Steel Rager. This is looking like Togwaggle. There's our Ixlid, so we've drawn 2 combo pieces, just what we're looking for. Luckily, we can still get our Gonk to cost 0 with Barnabas. If that happens, then our combo is in a good, like, state still. If we draw the Gonk, that's real bad for us. This is an Innervate Nourish for mana. Yep. Okay. And he can't attack with his 3/6, so we get to trade this for free with our Rager. We could also Nourish for crystals, but I don't think that helps us very much in the present. So if he wants, he can pop the Twig next turn. Typically, you want to save it for your combo turn, especially because he knows that we're playing Oaken, so he knows we're not playing either of the loses, he might not expect a Harrison Jones, so he might just hold this forever, and then we can Harrison it without him expecting it. We're at 18, he's at, I think that says 14, behind the overlay. So I think he's ahead of draw on us. Can't actually tell. I'm gonna presume he is. Naturalize. So we're at 8 cards. We can always waste a pounce. I'm just gonna draw for 3. We're looking for that Harrison pretty badly. Okay, so we're gonna waste a pounce because we don't want to overdraw. Not sure how I feel about that. He went Taunt, which is fine. Ferocious. This turn I think I just want to play this guy out. What is our quest at? 3? Yeah. I will also take Taunt. He is at 7 cards, so Naturalize does not overdraw him. That is something we can look to do if he draws a lot of cards. Okay, so he's still at 7. Just play like a Nourish. Damn. So he is holding this, though, which is good for us, because it means that the Harrison Jones is a potential top deck. Swipe. So we can deal 6. And then this pack is a bad draw, but it gets us closer to our quest completion, so it's the play. This is a scenario where having Cobalt instead of Elise would be good, because we get the little buff onto one of our 1/5s. That doesn't come up too often, though. I don't know. I've had Elise packs win me games before, so I'm inclined to keep it in. I was real worried about that being a Naturalize. I was really worried about that being a Naturalize too, but luckily it's just swipe. Another Ferocious, okay. What am I at? 9? I could branching for cards first. I think I like that. Draw. Spreading is cool, I guess. Draw. There's the Harrison, okay. So we want to pop that so that he doesn't have access to it. We milled our quest. I'm so peeved. You know what? Fuck it. At this point, we'll just see if we mill the Gonk for the memes. I could have avoided that too by just playing the Naturalize first. Fuck. This entire video is just like trolled and clip after trolled and clip of me being real bad. Yeah, dude, my thoughts are plagued too. Consider me hella tilted. No. No. Alright. Good shit, good shit. You know what? I think we can win one game in 1 hour. 1 game per hour? It's a pretty good percentage. That's how you hit legend. Lose 4, win 1, feel good about it. Alright, we're against Hunter. I have not seen a rank 6 player in like 3 months because I never fall down all the way to 5-0 stars. So this is uncharted territory for me. We're still at the above 50% win rate on Gonk, even after all the shit we've gone through. Alright, this is not a very active hand, but it's not bad. We have stuff to work towards. We got some removal, we got some draw. We found the Death Knight, which is huge in Hunter matchups. We can work towards an ultimate, okay, so we can nourish for crystals now. I can see this working out. I'm hopeful. We are against Hunter, which is not exactly a favorable matchup, but... Oh, we're against a weird-ass Hunter, okay. So, we're against the slower build, which is probably good for us, because it gives us more time than the typical mid-range Hunter. At this point, I just want to win once. Going from 55% to 52%. Not exactly what I was looking to do today. Ranching, okay. So we go Ferocious. Found a Plague. That's pretty big. That's pretty big. Hunter has no way to remove Plague. Okay. Okay, alright. So, we can draw if we want. I'm fine with that. So, our play is coin nourish into this. Maybe we just want to draw, or we just want armor, because we're going to draw up with the ultimate anyway. So I'm just going to take armor here. Upgrade Spellstone, which is cool. Okay. Okay. Save the second one. Oh, hell yeah. Alright, so we're going coin crystals. And then killing this. Okay, so I was questioning getting that armor there. With the branching paths, but since it's set up to kill a 5/5, that's pretty cool. I didn't actually even think ahead about that at all, but I'm happy that it worked out the way it did. Rexar on 6. That's okay. We have Malfurion on 7. So that feels pretty good for us. And then we're going to be able to empty our hand for ultimate, which is cool. Okay. Now the problem with the ultimate plan is that we have not completed our quest at all. So we could draw all of our combo pieces, make none of them cost 0, and then cry. Some beasts are kind of scary. Hopefully he thinks that we're really scary and plays very slow. Just play extremely conservatively for no reason. I had a very hard time pronouncing that conservatively. That's fairly weak. Yeah, weak turn, weak turn. Okay, so we're going to be drawing 5 next turn. So this puts us down to... Okay, so we can just waste a pounce next turn. Because these trades are fine. So next turn we'll just waste a pounce and ultimate. The only exception to that is if we get an Oaken Summons or a Curse Disciple. In that case, we would use that, try to complete our quest, and then ultimate after our quest. In the downtime, if you guys haven't noticed, there's a pretty sick-ass shark head right there. Right there. He's pretty dope. I want you guys to know, I specifically went and found that shark head from my closet and put it in view. Just for you. Right. Naturalize. Okay, so we're going pounce, ultimate the 5/5, hit this down for free, trade here. Okay, so that's 2 combo pieces. Oh, but we found the dream pedal too. Okay. This isn't too bad. We still have a above 52% chance to win. Okay. Just don't draw Ixlid and don't draw Gonk. Is a 2 out of like what, 8, 12? That was some real bad math there, that's okay. Those only make eggs. So him making extra eggs is totally fine for us, actually. So we want to play... We're not going to overdraw, right? Nope. Okay, so we play this. Then we're going to innervate this out to hit a combo piece. So this will guarantee hit one of these. We're just going to trade here. Once this dies, we get our quest reward. And as long as we don't draw Ixlid or Gonk this turn, we're in a great spot. There's a lot of things that gotta go right. But I'm feeling it. It makes sense that the game we have the best chances against the worst ladder opponent. I'm pretty confident. I'm waiting for this to backfire too, so we have another Trollding clip. Just make the entire video one Trollding clip. Speaking of Trollding, one of our boys on the friends list got showcased. So if you want to hit him up over at twitch.tv/benchwarmer Hearthstone or benchwarmer HS, I'm not quite positive. I just thought that off the top of my head. He's in the most latest one though. I think it's episode 425. Hit him up. He's a pretty chill dude. Okay. So we have a 2 out of 11 to be really sad. Come on, hit that. I'm not gonna say that. There's a meme in there. Come on, don't hit the 2 out of 11. Yes! Okay. Perfect. So we're playing this. And now we are on the draw cards until we win plan. So, draw card. Hit the gong, let's go. Draw card. Okay, Ferocious Ally, you know what? I'm okay with that. We're not really in a position where it matters that we take a bunch of damage. I'm definitely considering killing this 4/5 though, just because it mills some cards, and also it, you know, lowers damage on board. Definitely considering naturalizing this. Well, we're at 38. I mean, this is only better versus a big taunt. I think we have to hold it. If he has a big taunt zombies, then we need it for that. Okay. Come on, just next turn top deck us the Ixlid so we can go off and win a game. I'm begging you. Hit the 1 out of 10. 1 out of 8. My numbers are bad today. 1 out of 8, come on. Also, don't kill us. I don't know how you kill us here, but don't. Oh no, I found out how you kill us here. Please no. I guess this is why we saved the naturalize. Wait, that has charge. Wait, I see a play. If we're not dead, we have such a cool turn. Especially if we top deck Ixlid. Top deck Ixlid, so we win the game. Top deck Ixlid. Okay, so we'll... Okay, so I can go for the 1 and 3 to get Ixlid. But nah. It's better just to go with the safe play. Another swipe, that's fine. We'll just naturalize this. We'll spreading naturalize. Okay. So, if at any point we draw a minion, it's either going to be Ixlid, which means we win the game, or it's going to make our Oaken Summons a 50-50 to summon our Ixlid, which also wins us the game. See, this is one of the games where having that extra pack in there kind of sucks. Like I said, I haven't perfected the Gonk Druid list, but this feels pretty nice. You haven't really showcased it very well, but I promise you it's good. I can be very proud in saying that at some point I had a 55% win rate on Legend Ladder with Gonk. Okay, that doesn't matter. That is almost a non-factor. Come on. Just hit me with the Ixlid. 1 and 6. Just poof, Ixlid. Ooh, that's kind of spooky. Does that have charge? No, it doesn't. It's just 4/4. Ixlid. I kind of want to go for the 1 and 3. I kind of really want to go for the 1 and 3. God, I want to go for it so badly. We're doing it. 1 and 3. Yes! Okay. We get to do it. We get to do it, boys. We're gonna shoot this in there. Oh, yeah, this is fine. So we don't get to use the Leroy with it because we had to waste mana to get the Ixlid out, but no! He didn't let me go. I feel so defeated. I've never won a game and felt so defeated. I spent 58 minutes trying to do that. I spent 58 minutes trying to do that. He didn't let me do it.